Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning and welcome to video number 199, Error Terms in Econometrics. In today's video, I'll concentrate on various types and dimensions of error terms that are used in econometrics. Let me start with the concept of error term. In general, error means a mistake or omission, but in econometrics, it is used in a very wide sense and it refers to a stochastic error term. Stochastic error term is also called random error, non-systematic term, or a random disturbance term. And random error is the effect of all the variables that were not included in the model and were assumed to have a mean value of 0 and to be uncorrelated with the independent variables, assumed to have a constant variance and to be uncorrelated with its own past values. This is the definition of the disturbance term or the stochastic error term. There is another relevant term, and that is residual. Now a question is, what is the difference between the error term and the residual? As I mentioned in my previous slide, the error term, that is mu I or epsilon I, represents a set of variables that may affect the dependent variable, but these variables have not been included in the model because of some reasons. On the other hand, a residual term, EI, is the difference between the observed value and the estimated value of the dependent variable, and usually EI is equal to yi minus yi hat. Now the question is, what is the difference between the two? That is between the error term and the residual. The error term mu I is unobservable. It is unobservable in the sense because in most situations some independent variable may affect the dependent variable, but we don't know about them, or we don't have data about them, or there are some other reason, econometric issues due to which we may not include those variables in the model. So in that sense, the error term is unobservable, and that is why it is represented by mu I. The residual term EI may be observed and estimated, and usually when we estimate the model, then if we compute the difference between the observed value and the estimated value, then that is equal to the residual. So error term mu I is unobservable, whereas EI is observable and can be estimated. However, the residual term EI may also be used as a proxy for the error term. So in one sense they are alike, and in another sense they are different. That is, the error term is unobservable, while the residual term is observable. So in that sense they are different, but in another sense, since residual term may be used as a proxy for the error term, so that is a kind of similarity between the two. There is another relevant term, and that is known as random walk. Now a question is, what is a random walk? It is a statistical phenomenon where a variable follows no discernible trend and moves seemingly at random, and that is why it is known as a random walk. There is a random walk theory which is applied to trading and most clearly laid out by Burton Malkiel, who is economics professor at Princeton University, USA. And this theory posits that the price of securities moves randomly, and that therefore any attempt to predict future price movement either through fundamental or technical analysis is futile. So, a random walk may not be predicted through a fundamental or a technical analysis, and that is why it is known as a random walk. There is a famous random walk theory or random walk hypothesis, which is a mathematical model of the stock market. And proponents of random walk theory believe that the prices of securities in the stock market evolve according to a random walk. So the process is completely random. There are certain assumptions of the random walk theory, and there are two basically assumptions of the random walk theory. The first assumption is that the random walk theory assumes that the price of each security in the stock market follows a random walk. That is, the price of each security in the stock market follows a random walk. The second assumption of the random walk theory is that it assumes that the movement in the price of one security is independent of the movement in the price of another security. So these are the two basic assumptions of the random walk theory. There is another relevant term, and that is known as white noise, and this is used in a time series. Now, a question is, when a time series is a white noise? A time series is white noise if the variables are independent and identically distributed with a mean value of 0. This implies that all the variables have the same variance, sigma square, and each value has a 0 correlation with all other values in the series. And we can show that white noise is in this graph or in this figure. So, once again, a time series is a white noise if the variables are independent and identically distributed with a mean value of 0, and their various they have the same variance, sigma square, and each value in a series has a 0 correlation with all other values in the series. There are also some other types of errors in testing of hypotheses. One is called type 1 error and the other one is called type 2 error. In test of hypotheses, usually we apply different types of tests, for example t-test, chi-square test, z-test, and so on. If the result of the test corresponds with reality, then a correct decision has been made. However, if the result of the test does not correspond with reality, then an error has occurred. There are two situations in which the decision is wrong. Sometimes the null hypothesis is true, but we reject the null hypothesis H0. In some other situations, the alternative hypothesis H1 may be true, whereas we do not reject H0. So two types of errors are distinguished. One is type 1 error and the other one is type 2 error. Type 1 error is the first kind of the error which rejects a true null hypothesis as a result of a test procedure. It means that when the null hypothesis is true and we reject the null hypothesis, then this kind of error is known as the type 1 error. And this is also known as false positive, and is sometimes called an error of the first kind. In terms of the courtroom example, a type 1 error corresponds to convicting an innocent defendant. There is a person who is innocent, but the court convicts him. So this is known as the type 1 error. Type 2 error, the second kind of error, is the failure to reject a false null hypothesis as the result of a test procedure. This sort of error is called a type 2 error. It is also known as false negative and is also referred to as an error of the second term. And in terms of the courtroom example, a type 2 error corresponds to acquitting a criminal. There is a criminal person, but the court acquits him. So that is an example of type 2 error. So in a nutshell, we can say when the null hypothesis is true and we reject it, we are committing type 1 error. And when the alternative hypothesis is true and we accept the null hypothesis, then that is the situation of a type 2 error. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon so that you can get notification about my other videos that I'll upload for you. If you have any question regarding this lecture or any other lecture, kindly do contact me or record your comment and I'll try my level best to come up with a response. Thank you for watching this video. See you in another video. And